Welcome back to heavy breathing and questionable moaning sounds. I'm Uncomfortable podcast, Valentine's Day edition. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get weird. But most of all, it's going to be uncomfortable.
We're so excited because it's Valentine's Day. It is literally February 14th right now.
Literally. Like, it couldn't be more literal.
Literally.
Like,
it couldn't be.
If you looked up Valentine's Day in the dictionary, it would just say today. Love and sex and relationship things.
Oh.
But not too much.
So,
I wish there's sex.
Oh my God. We can't talk too much about sex, guys, because Zajak's mom is there.
Yeah, my mom's never had sex.
She's never had sex.
Yeah. She's an anomaly.
What you are listening to right now is the product of immaculate conception.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely correct.
Not me. No. I was a prom night dumpster baby. Yes. But Sajak,
yes,
immaculate.
Well, not me, but my mother. I am no way immaculate. Whatever the opposite of immaculate is, that's me. Like wrecked. I'm wrecked. I've seen some things, and some stuff. So,
whatever the opposite of immaculate is, wrecked. I'm wrecked. Oh, that was great.
Just being honest.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's all about love, though. Wrecked with love.
Okay, so the obvious question is, how do you feel about Valentine's Day? Like, what's your take on Valentine's Day?
I'm actually honestly kind of indifferent. Even like I'm single, but like in a relationship, like it's not a make or break for me. Like it's not, I don't know. It's nice if you want to do something nice, but it's, it's just one of those holidays that just passes me by, like the 4th of July. It just passes me by.
So if you were in a relationship and your partner didn't do anything for Valentine's Day, like nothing, would you truly just be like, oh, okay? Or would there be a part of you that's like, that's a choice?
That depends. Is that like our first Valentine's Day, or have we been together a few years?
Both.
Well, that can't be the same.
So if it was your first, would you care? If it was your 5th, would you care?
I would say unless we put down specific parameters around it on the first one, I would be I'd be well, what the hell? Mm-hmm. We should probably celebrate. But I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. It depends on the conversation. Because I feel in a relationship, two people generally have an established feeling about Valentine's Day. It's either we don't do anything or we do. I don't know. I guess it depends. Are you guys all Valentine's? You guys strike me as very... either very Valentine's Day or not at all. There's I feel there's no in between for you two.
It's both because, okay, so when I was younger, for instance, Valentine's Day, I've never really cared about Valentine's Day because I think it's cheesy. I'm also one of those people that's why do I need a day to express my love? Those lame asses.
You would be.
I know. But now I love it. And here's why. Because now I have a child and I have a husband who has a fancy career and life is, I love my life, but also, well, no, I love my life, but also I'm just I'm bored of this house. So for me, Valentine's Day is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to be hey, Mom, can you take the kid? We'd like to go away for 3 or 4 days and have a little Valentine's trip. And it's always oh, of course, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about Valentine's Day, but we're sure as hell going to use it to get rid of the kid and go to a fancy hotel.
Totally. Yeah, that makes good sense.
And our Valentine's scenarios, we're not going out to fancy dinners and making love all night and watching romantic comedies. No, we're getting high in a fancy hotel room and walking to Jackass Forever. That's our Valentine's Day.
That's a beautiful thing. Now that is love right there. That is love. You kids take notes. I'm going to take notes.
I like holidays. I like excuses to do shit.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't care about Valentine's, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, like any holiday that's not Christmas or Halloween. I really don't care that much about, but I like the production of it. I like, oh, now we have an excuse to do this. Oh, now we have an excuse to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm such a consumer in that regard.
I get to it. Yeah, well, like we used to see it, like my cousins and I would be like, oh, yes, I love Easter. We can drink mimosas and get drunk and fall asleep in the yard. Like that was just like our thing, you know?
Exactly.
So, tradition, you know?
Yeah.
Lawn naps, as we used to call them.
Speaking of love, though.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of lawn naps. I was going to say that would be a fire segue if you had something for that.
Speaking of lawn naps, our beautiful Twitter princess Danny, aka Perfect Vision, got married the day before yesterday,
They
and we're so happy for her.
So for Danny, beautiful.
We're so happy for them and their beautiful husband and their beautiful family, and we love them so much.
Very much so. Very much so.
And we just need to give them a little shout out because this is about love.
It is. What a perfect time.
And what says love more than marrying someone?
Divorcing them. No.
Right?
Just
That's when you find new love
right.
with the pool boy.
Or the pool woman or pool non-binary person. You know, you never know who's
The pool person.
Somebody's at the pool and you're going to love them.
The point is, he's knee deep in algae and I am horny. So let's go.
That was going to be the opening to my romance novel.
We asked people for questions about love and sex and relationships or just how they felt about Valentine's Day. And I have a question here that I'd like to get to first because like it feels important. But SSS Garbo, aka Sarah, wants to know, what do you do when all your friends think you're a virgin?
Oh, man. I mean, that does sound like a question that a virgin would ask.
I agree, right? Like you're telling on yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
She says she's asking for a friend, but
you know what? Here's the thing. When you're a virgin, you are your best friend. So, I mean, maybe that friend is her.
I mean,
no shame. There's no shame in the virgin game, by the way.
You know what, Sarah? I think it's time to stop denying and start living in your truth because you're never going to fully accept and love yourself. And no one is ever, ever gonna bang you if you can't accept who you are, which is a virgin.
Absolutely. Stop lying to yourself and stop lying to others.
Yeah.
And get fucked.
Get fucked.
Like literally, not like I'm not telling you to fuck off. Like literally, just go get fucked. It's good for you.
Have sexual intercourse.
Yes, intercourse.
Because this is embarrassing.
Sex.
I'm embarrassed that you asked this question. There is virgin energy radiating through my phone. I wish I was wearing blue light glasses. Allie wants to know, what was the worst Valentine's date you've ever had? She says, I got stood up and then the guy ghosted me when I asked him why he stood me up. First of all, dick.
What a fucking wang. Good God. You dodged a bullet there, first of all. Gross.
He couldn't even begin to deserve Allie. But anyways, what was the worst Valentine's Day you've ever had?
The worst Valentine's Day I ever had. That's a good question. I think probably any of the ones with my most recent ex would all qualify. Just because it was...
Yeah, the particular...
No, I don't have anything in particular. There's nothing even memorable enough to, like, stand out. It just felt like a chore. It was just like, I don't know. There was no thought put... Like, it wasn't creative. It wasn't thoughtful. It was just like, you want food? Yeah, all right, let's go get food. And then it was just like, that was it. And it was, I don't know, there's nothing, if you're going to celebrate it, you can celebrate it, you know?
Like, not even a card or anything?
No,
like that?
absolutely not. Never.
Really?
Yeah, never once.
Okay. See, that's a red flag because as cheesy as I think Valentine's Day is, if you can't pick up a $2 like box of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Valentine's chocolate,
Right.
like you're kind of a dude.
Right. I know. I missed a lot.
That's a red flag.
You know what? Here's the thing. I didn't miss a lot of red flags. Like I saw them, but I was just there like biding my time. And then I accidentally got knocked up. And then that's just kind of how that happens. So don't bide your time. Just pay attention to the red flags and go.
Yeah.
Not that I regret my children, but like, you know, could have saved you. You know, you could save yourself some frustration. So
also, she kind of regrets her children.
I do not. And I will not stand for the slander. What was your worst?
Before we started recording this podcast, all she was doing was ranting about what little assholes they were.
That's not true. I said it casually.
That's absolutely true.
That's not true. I said it casually. I wasn't ranting. What was your worst Valentine's date?
I really, I know I have to have had one, but I just like, again, I've never really like celebrated Valentine's Day before Derek. Like me and Derek, all my Valentines with Derek's have been great. But before that, like I can't even really remember.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Good Valentines.
My brain is like,
because like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was never a thing. Like I'm sure that there's been some lackluster ones, but there's also never been any like super bad ones, which I guess is good.
Yeah, nothing really stands out for me. Like, oh my god, that was the worst. Like,
yeah,
it just was. I don't know. Yeah. I wish I had something juicier for that, but I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of bad dates. They just didn't happen on Valentine's Day.
Fair enough. I don't date enough to have bad dates. I just don't. I just stop. Unless I'm biding my time, evidently.
Okay, but on the flip side of that, can you describe your dream Valentine's Day? Like, no money or limitations do not exist. What's your ideal Valentine's Day?
Ideal Valentine's. I see. It's such a weird. I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but like, it's such a weird thing to hone in on for me. I guess.
Right? It's hard.
It's like one day, and you're like celebrating love. I guess. I don't know. I mean. Like a nice surprise of something that person already knows I would enjoy. Like,
yeah,
take me somewhere you know I enjoy, and that's it. Mm-hmm. I'm very simple that way. Like, I feel like a very extravagant gesture would make me just feel uncomfortable.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's that like weird pressure that's on Valentine's Day. I feel like I would have been having a different discussion on this podcast if it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, same.
But I'm 34 now, and like I don't think about Valentine's Day at all in any kind of regard other than fuck yeah, we have an excuse to go away for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, yeah, like a nice nap would be good. I think, that, a good, like, can I sit in my bed and eat chips? Like, that sounds good. Like, by myself, though, like, could you go away?
Yeah.
I don't think relationships are for me yet. I don't think I'm there.
If money was no object, I think, like, my ideal Valentine's Day would just be, like, waking up and my bag's already packed with all my favorite outfits and like, hey, like, let's go on a trip for a week. Like, that would be ideal.
You know what would be cool? I've always wanted to do that.
But I want to do that on Wednesday. I don't care if it's Valentine's Day.
Well, like, I've always wanted to do that thing where you just like throw like a dart at a map and like go wherever that dart hits. And like, that would be a fun Valentine's.
Me too, or spin a globe.
Yeah. That'd be a fun Valentine's Day outing with no expense, concern to be concerned about.
I love that shit. I love a theme too. Like I found this it's so cheesy, but I'm obsessed with it. I posted it on Twitter, but it's like this Valentine's scavenger hunt. And the idea is that you both have a list of things like something that reminds you of me, your favorite, like sweet treat, something you think that I'll enjoy, something that makes you sentimental. And you split up and you go shop for all these items. And then in lieu of like a piece of jewelry or a watch or whatever gift you give, you have like this cute little exchange, and then you spend the night with like, oh, your favorite treats and
I love
something you can do together. And I just, right?
That's great.
I love anything like that. If we can turn it into a game of any sort, like that's all I want to do.
I love that. That's that's a good way to, exercise how well you know your partner and ensure that you both end up with something you want.
How do you guys feel about Valentine's Day being a first date for many couples? Do you think that's a risk or that it makes no difference in the relationship's foundation?
Well, I think it's weird, but I also think it makes no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just a day. I mean, it's like, it puts I think from like a third party perspective, it would put a lot of pressure on the date because like people do have this high expectation of Valentine's Day. But like, I think overall it's whatever.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't recommend it just because of I feel like the pressure, because whether you like Valentine's Day or you don't, this is a first date. You don't know how that other person feels. You don't know what they're expecting. You don't know what they want. You don't know what their expectations are. Like, is this just going to be like a one night stand on Valentine's Day, or is she going out with me or he because they have an expectation about how serious this is going to get? I feel like I would be so hyper aware that it was Valentine's Day the whole time that I would find it distracting. And I just think that's too much pressure for a first date.
I feel like it might be too much pressure for like a first date if you met like on like Hinge or like a fucking website. You know what I mean? Like a dating site.
Yeah.
I think then maybe it might be, but like if you met organically, maybe not, because you don't already know so much about each other, and you don't have that like history. I do think it would be weird as hell though, because no matter where you go, like to have like dinner or whatever, there's going to be couples there, and it's just like, it does set kind of a high expectation. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could go either way. I think it depends on the people.
I think I would have a bad time. I'm not like a super affectionate, lovey-dovey type of person. So if I was sitting like just like sitting at dinner with like surrounded by like happy couples on Valentine's Day trying to get to know someone, I'd just be like,
that's one of my favorite things.
I gotta go.
That's one of my favorite things. We actually my ex and I used to seek out people. Like we'd be looking around for people who like you could tell were like on their like first or second dates, because it's so funny to watch, like just to watch it happen. Because
you're a monster.
I'm not like making fun of them, but it's such a it's like it's interesting to see, like, because you can always tell like when people have just met, or like they barely know each other or whatever. It's funny to watch because one of them's always trying too hard and the other one inevitably like doesn't really care. It's entertaining.
Okay, so speaking of Hinge, are dating apps a good way to meet a partner?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it works for a lot of people. I guess it depends on.
Have you ever met anyone?
No, I've been on a few of, like, I used to be, way back in the day, I was on OkCupid, and I used to be on it just to fuck with people. Like, if anybody was, like, expressed interest, I would message them and be like, okay, cool, so is, like, pink and green, like, good for the wedding colors? Or, like, I would just fuck with people all the time. And then, like, I joined, like, a while ago, and I was just like, meh, just to see. And I'm like, no, I don't want anything to do with any of these people. It's not for me. I feel like I have to meet somebody organically, but I feel like it works for a lot of people. I think it just depends on how you feel about them.
I feel like it's so weird now because back in the day, if you met someone online, like you were a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like you would never admit that you met online. You'd be like, tell them we met at yoga, you know, like, it was such a like taboo thing. And now I feel like it's less common to like meet someone organically just out in the world.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. Yeah. Especially because like in our generation, like I don't know if it was like for you, but like growing up, it was like, no, you don't ever meet anyone from the internet ever. And then I remember when dating apps like Match.com started, and it was just like, wait, you're going to voluntarily meet people on the internet? That sounds scary. You're going to get murdered. What are you doing?
Right?
And I think I still have a little bit of that in the back of my brain.
I've only met one man off of a dating app ever, and he is currently my husband.
Well, it works for some people, I guess.
Since it's the Valentine's episode, I'm going to tell you guys a cute story. So I had to have surgery, and I was held up in bed for, I believe it was 3 weeks, but I had like the tubes, I had all the shit. I could not leave the bed. I could barely walk. And I went on, I think it was Plenty of Fish, and I was just talking to guys and just like nothing too casual. And then I started talking to Derek, who was hilarious. And I was like, oh, I'm like really enjoying talking to this guy. And we talked for about a week. And he was like, hey, let me know if this is out of line, but why don't you let me come over and we can hang out and watch a movie? I can keep you company. And I was a little bit wary because I'd never met anyone online anymore, but I really hit it off with this guy. We were sending videos back and forth and pictures and talking about everything. You know how it is like back in the day where like you talk about everything, right? Yeah. And so it made me feel more comfortable, and he showed up. My mom was there. She was downstairs. She was taking care of me, and he was just like, hey, Nayli's my friend. I just, came over to hang out with her. And she was like, oh, okay. So he comes upstairs. I'm in bed. I've got my robe on. I look like shit. I like ran to the bathroom and like haphazardly like tried to put on a little bit of makeup and brush my hair. And I put on my not ugly bra, and like I got back into bed, and oh, I wasn't expecting you. And I remember specifically, I was watching Shane Dawson YouTube videos. This was 6 years ago. No one come for me. And he came in, and he was so freaking cute and tall, and just like he brought me a orchid, and he got me a bottle. We talked about it was my birthday a few days before I had surgery, and we were talking about he mentioned that he like loved cologne, and I was talking about how much I loved perfume, and I told him my favorite, and he showed up with like a bottle of that for my birthday. And then he just got in bed, and we watched movies for 4 days. He did not leave. We slept beside each other. We woke up. He made me breakfast, and we just hung out. And that's how our relationship started. And it was fucking adorable.
That is adorable. Wow.
And you know how I knew it was love? Because he told me afterwards he almost got a speeding ticket. The cop let him off. He almost got a speeding ticket driving home because he was so scared to poop in front of me that he held it for 4 days.
Aww. That's sweet.
Now he just opens the bathroom door and is like, did you get my meme? Did you see the meme I sent you?
It just shits directly on me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story.
I thought it was. So I'm very pro online dating. As long if you gotta be picky, gotta be selective. Oh, yeah. Derek was not the only guy I talked to.
Yeah. I think that's my problem. I'm like too picky.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, for me, because after it was over with my ex, and then I had waited years, and I was like, okay, I want to move on. Like, I want to meet someone. I want to get out there. Mm-hmm. And my whole thing was, again, I'd never used a dating site before, but I also didn't want to dick around. So like when I first started talking to Derek or whoever, I was like, listen, I'm not DTF. Like I have a son. If you are interested in dating me, it's not going to be like a casual,
Right.
like you come around whenever, like that's not how it's going to be. Here's my baggage. These are my expectations. Are you still interested?
Right.
Like I put all my cards out on the table because I do not have time to fuck around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when I have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he really respected that. He was like, this is different than my normal conversations, but you know, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. He was like, I very much want a family, and I'm done with all like the Tinder shit, and yeah, and we just happen to be soulmates.
That's great. That gives me hope, and I'm sure that gives virgins like Sarah hope too.
Oh, Sarah, one day it's gonna happen, baby. I promise. Someone's going to take your flower and it's going to be magical.
We'll be there cheering you on. In spirit.
Oh.
In spirit. We're not going to be there physically. That'd be weird for your first time.
Bree wants to know the best and worst rom-coms.
Best and worst. Let's start with best. Best rom-com. Well, like, what? Okay. So, like, are we talking, like, rom-coms, like, super cheesy rom-coms? Or, like, is this, like, the whole broad spectrum of rom-coms? Because I feel like the whole spectrum is so wide.
Yeah, I would just say, like, just in general, like, a rom-com. Like, I love Bridesmaids, which I would consider a rom-com.
Bridesmaids is, yeah.
Yeah, and then I also love like 13 Going on 30, which is like a totally different, like more innocent kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say like 10 Things I Hate About You is actually a pretty good rom-com.
It's amazing. I love it so much.
I agree. There's got to be others. I have to Google them. I'm going to Google them.
10 Things I Hate About You, 13 Going on 30, Bridesmaids, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, Love Actually is a rom-com.
Love Actually, yes.
Sleepless in Seattle is a classic.
I've never seen it.
What? That's a crime.
I've never seen it. I don't care about... I know I just listed off a bunch of rom-coms, but like those are from way back in the day. I don't watch a lot.
But Sleepless in Seattle is so good. Oh, Return to Me. Return to Me is a good rom-com.
Never seen it.
Written, directed, and co-starring the Bonnie Hunt. Thank you.
I don't think I've ever heard.
It's such a good movie. It's really sweet. It's got a cheesy element, but it's also really sweet and really funny.
My idea of a rom-com is like, and please someone have watched this, but like A Life Less Ordinary, like that's my kind of romantic movie. Have you ever seen it with Cameron Diaz, Ewan McGregor?
Yes, I was trying to place it. I was trying to place the
Holly Hunter,
or the cover art in my head. Yes,
like that's right there. It's like I think it's like super romantic in a sense, but like I also just think it's hilarious. I think it's so weird and quirky. Like that's the kind of shit that I like.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I'm just trying to see. I'm Googling to see if there's any ones that I've like missed that I would be like, of course that's one of my favorite rom-coms. Like Pretty Woman.
Oh yes, of course, Pretty Woman.
Classic. I wouldn't call As Good as It Gets a rom-com.
I disagree. Or I agree.
It's a good movie.
Are they saying it's a rom-com?
It's on this list.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I would say like 40-Year-Old Virgin is more of a rom-com than that. And that's one for you.
One, you know,
Sarah would probably like it.
Oh, she would like that one.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Very relatable.
We just watched the one with Andy Samberg. Palm Springs. I thought was really, really good. I liked it a lot.
I haven't seen it.
It's kind of like Groundhog's Day, but with two people, and
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the
Yeah.
the TV spots for that, or the yes.
Overboard.
Love Overboard. Love Overboard. That's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What about the worst?
The Wedding Singer too.
Oh, I love
and
The Wedding
50 First Dates.
I'm not a huge fan of 50 First Dates, but I will get on board with The Wedding Singer for sure.
Drew Barrymore is so fucking, like, she is such a precious, innocent little angel in that movie, and I love her so much.
1000%. She's so cute in that movie.
The worst is, like, anything that we haven't said.
There's some really bad ones. Oh my God. Cocktail. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one. New Year's Eve. That's a terrible one.
I've never seen it. She's All That.
As a good one or a bad one?
A good one.
Well, you know what? You can say the original was a good one and the remake was a bad one.
He's All That is hilarious if you are intoxicated, guys. Literally, oh my God.
I don't know that I could get that intoxicated.
It was amazing.
Although Must Love Dogs I did walk out of, and I love John Cusack and I love Diane.
You walked out of a John Cusack movie?
I did.
You're dead to me.
Listen to me. I have nothing but love, respect, and a pretty thirsty lust for John Cusack. I have seen him here numerous times because he's from here, and I love him. That movie was fucking garbage. And I had to leave.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
That was real bad. Had to.
Oh, another one that just popped up that I completely forgot about, but is one of my favorites, is Enchanted. Have you ever seen Enchanted?
With Anne Hathaway? Or no, that's the one with, what's her nuts? Amy Adams?
You're thinking of Ella Enchanted. Yeah, I'm talking about Amy Adams.
I know, I corrected myself. Calm down. Shit. I got there before you started getting an attitude. Relax.
Wait. I completely forgot. Just Friends is one of my favorite fucking romantic comedies of all time.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Okay. Thought so. I haven't seen that one since it came out because I remember renting it to people.
I like how when this started, I was like, I don't really watch romantic comedies, and now I'm like, oh my God, this one. Listen, I love like 90s, early 2000s romantic comedies because it's like nostalgic for me. But honestly, if they came out today, I don't know that I would see them.
What about Father of the Bride? Would you consider that?
Yes, that's a classic.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that one.
Yes, that's a great one.
That is a great one. Honestly, that's a comfort. That's like that and Overboard, total comfort movies. Where it's like I could just have it on in the background and I'm having a good day.
I'm trying to find bad ones that I've seen. Oh, The Heartbreak Kid is an abomination.
Ben Stiller.
Damn,
I'm good.
That was absolute trash. And while we're there, we'll just throw Along Came Polly onto that. I think
you can throw pretty much any Ben Stiller movie into that pile.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Ben Stiller, except for the Night at the Museum movies, which are very important to me.
I just watched Night at the Museum for the first time.
Did you like it?
Like 4 days ago. Yes, I really enjoyed the first one. I didn't enjoy the second one as much.
The second one was okay. I did like the third one, but the first one is the best. It's really, really good.
We're watching them all because, I really like the first one, but like the second one was like very lackluster to me and like to me, it felt very haphazard. But the third one, I really like the cast, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I like them all. They're all enjoyable. The first one's the coolest. I remember seeing it the first time. I was like, this is like, if I was really small, this would be like the coolest movie. I'd be going to the museum tomorrow.
Oh yeah, totally. I remember thinking that at the end. I was like, it's New York City. Why has no one thought of this kind of like interactive setup? Because this is genius.
Yeah, 100%. That would be awesome. Talk about getting kids involved in learning shit at the museum.
I just thought of, okay, to be clear, I don't love or even think this is a good movie, but it holds a very deep place in my heart. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen The Wedding Planner?
With Jennifer Lopez?
Yes, and Matthew McConaughey.
No.
Okay, so my dad was this like old miserable Italian man who was obsessed with all things romantic comedies. Like all he wants is his Sandy B and like a bowl of cashews. Like that's all he did. He has watched The Wedding Planner so many times that I can recite that movie word for word, like not even sitting down and watching it. I'd be in the room and he has the TV so loud because he was 1,000. And I know every word of that script. I even know the opening sting, the musical score when it comes on. I know immediately it's The Wedding Planner, yet I've never sat down and actually watched it.
Wow. Wait, what about Juno, though? Because I really like Juno.
I love Juno, and I don't understand why it's like, I've noticed like a resurgence of hate for Juno. Juno is fantastic.
Juno was great start to finish. I mean, I guess I could see where it's like, all right, enough with the dialogue can be, I guess, off-putting if you're, or like too much, because it does have its own like little lexicon. But like
hashtag fact.
But I don't know. I think it's fun to see something different. Plus, the soundtrack is fantastic.
It is so good.
And Elliot Page is brilliant in it.
Elliot Page and Michael Cera are so fucking... Their chemistry is so cute.
So good.
Like, it's such a good movie. It's a great movie.
It really is.
Love it.
It really
and Jennifer Garner is fucking adorable.
Actually, I saw that movie on a date, so that holds this one for me.
I just thought of another amazing rom-com, which is Never Been Kissed.
I love Never Been Kissed. It's such a good one.
Agreed.
That movie's always funny to me. It's got David Arquette and Drew Barrymore in it, so you can't lose.
Agreed. I just saw another one that I saw and thought was...
I think what we've learned today is that Nayli loves rom-coms.
A very specific window of time rom-coms. The Duff was horrible.
Yeah, that was kind of boring. It was like it was like trying to be Juno. That's all I felt. It was like, why is this movie trying more to be Juno?
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. Garden State, does that count? Or is that too drama?
What is it?
Garden State. Is that too drama?
Redden State?
Garden State.
Oh, I don't know that I would classify Garden State as a rom-com. Maybe to me, it's more like a dramedy, like with romantic aspects.
I think I probably would have put it there too. I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good one though.
Boys and Girls was horrible. I hate 16 Candles, fun fact, and Pretty in Pink. Molly Ringwald can get fucked.
Wow. Wow. Jesus. Happy Valentine's Day.
I'm just kidding. I love Molly Ringwald, but I hate those two movies. I don't understand why they're so popular.
I've never seen Pretty in Pink, but I do like 16 Candles.
Ugh.
Okay.
Oh, Mamma Mia? Mamma Mia is a romantic comedy. Right? Yeah, sure. Google is telling me that it is. Oh, Chasing Amy. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. What is the worst holiday to get engaged on and why? And that's from Cap.
Honestly, I mean, I want to say Valentine's Day because it's so cheesy and expected. But then the joke in me wanted to say, like, President's Day. So I'm going to go with my first answer, which is Valentine's Day, because I feel like there's always like people who rag on proposals on Christmas. And I think Christmas is weirdly like way more romantic than Valentine's Day. I just think there's like a magical element to like the Christmas season that like is definitely like the pile of dirty snow in the parking lot by the time Valentine's Day runs around, you know?
If Derek proposed to me on Valentine's Day, I would say no. And I'm like super serious. Okay, this is like my own personal bias. I don't like public displays of affection. If you like those people that propose on like the kiss cams or whatever, if like proposing in a restaurant, like in front of people, like hiding a ring in the food on Valentine's Day, on Christmas, on my birthday, like no, let's make this engagement its own standalone special day. We don't need to tie this to Valentine's Day because guess what? We were talking about pressure of a first date. Think of how much added pressure it's going to be when your anniversary also falls on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I agree. Give it its own day. For sure. And don't do it at someone else's wedding either.
Oh my God. People do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of a few people who have done that, and I'm like, you're an idiot. Why would you do that?
That's so like
tacky.
That's so tacky. And just borderline disrespectful. And like, why would you want your proposal to be on someone else's like day? What?
I guess I could see it like, you feel like you could take a day to a wedding and you feel like a little more romantic, like, oh, this is so nice and da da da. But like, no, you don't propose that day.
The only way that I could ever see that working where it would be somewhat acceptable is if it was, say, the bride's or the bride and groom's idea and they were a part of it and helped facilitate it. Then it wouldn't be so bad, but like that's still real bad.
I mean, I feel like
I would not like that.
You could probably do it like covertly, like if you stepped outside of like the reception hall or whatever and it was like an intimate moment and you didn't go in there and like tell everybody, maybe, you know what I mean? But like, if you're making it a spectacle and you're doing this like at their wedding and everybody's got to know about it right now, that's so gross.
Yeah, no, I hate that. I wouldn't want to be engaged. I wouldn't want to be proposed to on a holiday personally.
No, I agree. I think, yeah, it should be its own thing.
How would you like to be proposed to? Give me your ideal proposal scenario and try not to be all say-jacky and like about it. Give me a real answer.
I'm afraid that's who I am. That's just me being me. For me, it would be like you said, like nothing, like it doesn't have to be, I don't want to be like in a spectacle in any sort of fashion like that. It's something, quiet and mundane and intimate, something like you would do together normally that, I think it's the only thing I would be comfortable in my life with it being a complete surprise because I don't like surprises at all. So I think like for me, that would be one thing where I'd be like, okay, that's a surprise I can get on board with. So like, I think I know not to be all me, but like my expectations aren't, like through the roof in terms of that. Just, I think for me, okay, let me put it this way. My love language is acts of service. So for me, when someone takes the initiative to think of like a specific or a special way to do something, like for me, that makes it special in and of itself. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't even, like the gesture doesn't even have to be big. The location doesn't have to be specific. The thought alone for me is like, that's my love language. So
1,000%. I agree. I told Derek when, we started to get really serious and he got brave one day and was like, so if that were to happen, what would you want to happen? And I told him I was like, private, first of all, like intimate. And I told him, I said, just show up. I don't want to have a bunch of spectators. I just want you to say what you actually feel, what you really want to say. And I want you to get a photographer because I'm sentimental and I want those photos. Yeah, and that's it.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, I think there's like I was going to say like in this day and age, but I think it's kind of always been that way that like proposals have this huge weight of like expectation on them. And it's like, it really doesn't have to be that huge. I mean, it's a huge moment in your life, but it doesn't have to be like a literal spectacle. Like,
I don't know. And this is just my opinion, but I feel like when there's too many bells and whistles, like there's too many rose petals and candles, there's a violin over here and we've got this over here. The effort is appreciated, but it, like, if I'm being honest, it kind of cheapens it a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Like I just want it to be me and him. I just want to speak to each other and be real. And I want to know what's in his head and his heart. And that's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the perfect proposal because it's just genuine. It's authentic.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. Authenticity.
I also think that like if you're going to marry somebody, you know them well enough to not need any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're past the bullshit phase. Hopefully. I mean, if you're getting married, you're hopefully past all the bullshit phase. So like you're not putting on those airs for each other already. So like I feel like cut the bullshit in the relationship, then cut the bullshit with like a proposal. Like give me your honest, the honesty of it all,
And I just want to say, like, if that's something that you do want something extravagant or public or overly romantic, like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not judging you in any way. We're all different. We all want different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I would caution you, as much as you think you want that to be just like swept away and the surprise proposal and everything is perfect and flawless. It seldom goes like that. And if you are getting to that point where you're serious, this is something that you want to talk to your partner about.
Yeah.
It can still be a surprise. It can still be a surprise. You can still have that special moment. But if, say, he proposes, like, say, in a way that I just described to you and you feel really let down, that's not a good way to start things off, right? Once you get to be an adult, you have to talk about these kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a single girlfriend who got proposed to and it was like, oh, I was so shocked. I didn't even know he felt that way about me. It's like, no, they've been talking about it for a year.
Well, here also, and if anybody's like, I don't want to do that. I want to keep it fully a surprise. I'll give you another hint. My best friend's now husband came to me and was like, hey, what should I do? And if you go to a girl, somebody's best friend, they can often help you with a proposal. So like if you
fantastic advice.
He's, he comes to me with a lot of stuff, like still like Christmas gifts or whatever, how do I make this more personal? Can you help me with this? Like, hell yeah, dude. Cause I know at the end of the day, she's going to get a nice surprise and he didn't have to blow it for her. So, sometimes a well-placed best friend is also helpful.
That's a great idea.
Except for rings. Rings are a challenge.
Yeah. That's another thing. If you have a man that you think is going to go off and get buck wild with your engagement ring, because like, I don't know about you, okay, but if Derek proposed to me with the ugliest fucking ring you have ever fucking seen in your life, and I knew that he put thought into it, he designed it, he put time and effort into it, and it was just god awful, I would wear it forever.
Same.
And
for Derek specifically.
But I would wear it forever because I'm like, you know what? He really tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was really special to him. He thought he did a great job. I will never tell him that this ring is ugly. I would never do that.
Yeah.
So, to avoid that kind of situation, what I would do when I knew that like things were starting to get serious and I could see like his wheels spinning a little bit, I would specifically like find rings that I really liked online, like on Instagram or something. I'd push one. I'd be like, oh my God, like, look at this ring. This is so friggin' cool and pretty. Oh my God. That's like my dream ring. And I would just keep like say that kind of shit, just kind of like in passing where you're not really fishing. You're just like, oh my God, babe, look how pretty.
Sure.
And then he makes that mental note.
Right. You got to make sure you have a partner that pays attention though. Cause sometimes they don't. But yeah, same. It's the same thing. Same.
I used to do this thing where it was like, because it was Ali Wong's first stand-up special. And she was like, oh fuck, what did she say? It was like, I had a feeling that he was going to propose because I had been pressuring him to do it. And we laughed so hard. I thought that was so funny. So I started like jokingly pressuring him. And he'd be at work and he'd be like, I don't know, just something random like, hey babe, what's the name of that song that I like? And I'd find some girl or wearing an engagement ring that I liked that was holding that CD, and I'd like send it to him and be like, this one, is this what you're talking about? Or like when we had to get our passports renewed, I'd be like, babe, we cannot forget to get our passports renewed. And I'd send him a picture of a girl like showing off her engagement ring with her hand on a passport. Like that kind of, I bought like this giant diamond ring Christmas decoration and put it right in the center of the tree.
That's amazing. I love that.
But yeah, like when you get to that point where you think it's going to happen and you've kind of like talked about it like slightly, start dropping those fucking hints because he'll put it in his back pocket. I promise. If he cares, he'll do it.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, then dump him.
Yeah,
run for the hills. Start dating women. You know, whatever you got to do.
Women are so much better. Date women, like for real.
Whoever you are, anybody, no matter your sexual orientation,
I don't care if you're female. Yeah, I don't care if you're female, male, non-binary, whatever you are, whatever you identify as. Date women. We're better.
That should be the tagline for our podcast. Date women. We're better.
I say this as someone who's married to a man. Yeah. Women are better.
Women are better. It's true. It's just true.
All right. We have our first spicy question. Izzy wants to know, what is the one sexual position you've tried that you regretted trying, or one sexual act that you tried and you regret trying?
Oh, God. I regret so many things. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck, I don't even know.
Really? You don't know?
No, I really don't.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, anal. Anal is what I regret.
Oh, sure. I don't have to regret it. I've never done it.
Really?
Yeah, I try not to do things I'm going to regret.
See, to me, birthdays and Valentine's Day mean that particular sexual act.
Thanks.
And while I have grown to not hate it, in the beginning, not a good time.
It doesn't sound like a good time. I'm not interested. It's not for me. Although I did have sex on a sidewalk once, and that hurts. So I regret that.
My favorite part about this podcast is literally, not figuratively, every single episode you include a story, whereas you were laying on the ground for a prolonged period of time.
I wasn't laying on the ground. Okay.
Oh,
it still hurt though. Although I did mention the lawn naps earlier, so yes, I guess technically you're still correct. I like the ground, man. Gravity is my friend.
Yeah, there's not a ton that I regret. I don't even really regret the anal. It's just not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty open sexually.
Yeah.
But I've also never gone like fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can't think of anything I've done where I've been like, wow, never again. Like,
yeah. Like I'm complaining about anal sex, whereas the other night I was reading an article about a gay gentleman that used a 2-liter soda bottle as his sex toy.
That sounds terrible.
So yeah. Different strokes. Pun intended.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, you know what? I've had one night stand with a man in my entire life, and I regret it. I've had many one night stands with women, but the one that I had with the guy who was actually my friend's brother, that's the one sexual experience I regret, like hands down.
Yeah, I think my only one night stand with a man also is mine. That was a walk of shame too. It was brutal.
Tell me about it.
No.
Come on.
No.
Tell me all about it. Come on.
I can't tell you all about it.
Why?
Because I can't.
Why?
Because I can't.
Was it your ex's brother?
I should hope not.
Father?
No, it wasn't an ex's anything.
Why can't you tell me about it?
Because I can't.
Because your mom's there?
yes. The virgin
this
mommy.
Lame ass podcast.
My virgin mommy. No, it's not that. It's other reasons. It was really bad. It was just really bad. And it was not pleasurable. It was really quick. And then like I left and I was like, why was I here in the first place? I need a shower.
Fair.
Yeah, it was just not great.
All right, fair enough. I won't push you anymore.
It was also a person that is famous, I guess.
Who?
I'm not telling you. I don't trust you to not
Tell
cut it out.
me.
No. I'll tell you later.
I swear to God, I will cut it out. Who was
No, I'll tell you later. It'll just
Are you serious? You don't trust me?
I trust you. I had this the OCD. I'll think about it forever. So
Okay. What do you think about guys with mommy kinks?
no thanks. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
What would you do if you were you were seeing this guy, it's been a couple of months, like you really like him. You're like, "Hey, I'm super into this. I want to see where this goes." And then one day, y'all are having sex and he tells you to call him daddy. Go.
No. Pregnant pause included. Just no. And then I get up and I leave and I take $5 from his wallet just for the inconvenience.
Order the Uber on his phone.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, bitch. I'm out.
Yeah, I would not like that either. As someone who has copious daddy issues, like
Same.
That's not my thing.
Yeah, same.
No, let's fucking not. Ever.
Yeah, same. I'll say it like ironically, but like no.
I remember when my dad died, because when he was alive, every year for Christmas we would get him this bottle of Chanel aftershave, right? Mm-hmm. And I grew up. I love that. To this day, I love that smell. I think it is the nicest smelling, like men's cologne, fragrance, whatever. I love it. And so for Christmas, right after my dad died, it was a very nice gesture, but it was really fucking weird. My mom got Derek a bottle of that aftershave.
Oh, God.
And she was like, oh, when you guys go out on like a date night or something, I thought he could wear it. That would be nice. And I was like, bitch, do you understand what you're saying right now? Like, I equate this scent with one thing and one thing only since I was like 4, and you want me to slather that on my husband and suck his dick? What are you doing?
Oh, Mom. Oh, yeah, that's uncomfy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Like, it's still, I can see it right here. It's up with all the perfume. It's like sealed and it's saran wrap. And she's like, so you haven't used that yet, hey? And I'm like, no, I have not.
Absolutely not.
I did think though, here, this is like a little bit of like my romantic side. I did think it would be special if when we finally had like a real, like proper wedding, if he wore it on our wedding day. I thought it'd be kind of sweet because then it would be like, oh, my dad's there.
That's sweet. That is sweet. No, that's sweet. I like that.
But then we go home and he showers aggressively before we consummate the marriage.
4 loofahs. 4 loofahs later and 3 gallons of Axe body spray just to get whatever it is out of there. When our fucking world implodes, when this whole fucking planet is nothing, it'll just smell like Axe body spray. Because that's like, it's like cockroaches. It's just, it never goes away.
It has to be responsible for at least like 10% of global warming.
And like 90% of bitches crying in their late teens and early 20s. She's not my friend anymore, but like my ex bestie, like that, I was very close with her and her husband. Like I love them. I remember one day I went into their bathroom. I was showering and I went to I wanted to see if she had moisturizer or something in her medicine cabinet. I opened it up and the medicine cabinet, I swear to God, there was 4 like tiny shelves within. It was a huge mirror. The whole center row, I'm talking like 30 canisters of every single scent of Axe body spray. From that day forward, I looked at him so much differently. Like, okay,
like
some of them didn't smell that bad, but like if you ever met a man during that time, they either wore way too much or they wore it like in lieu of showering.
Yeah.
And like that combination is unforgettable.
I don't understand because for me, like when I think of that like unshowered cologne smell, I only think of Axe. Like what was it about Axe body spray that men thought, oh, I can spray this and get away with not showering. No problem. It doesn't work with anything else. But for some reason, I think it worked with Axe. Meanwhile, you smell like, the garbage can in a drag bar. Like, what are you doing?
That's not fair to the drag bar.
No, it's not. Drag queen smells significantly better.
Yeah. It smells like a wet dumpster at a Chippendales. That's what it smells like. If I could picture, if it had a tangible, you get it. Never mind. Words are hard.
How do you get over being ghosted?
I don't know. I've never been ghosted. I'm just so popular. I don't know. I would say listen, I don't think there's any hard and fast rules to getting over any kind of like rejection, right? There's no like magic words that make it better. You know, if you really liked the person, you have to do the time to undo the liking them knots. But also fuck them and not literally, but like fuck them. 'Cause whoever you are, you're probably better than them. Because you probably would have had the audacity and the wherewithal to tell the person that perhaps you're not interested anymore. And by the way, if you're sad because somebody fucking ghosted you, imagine how they would have been in a relationship if they ghosted you.
Absolutely.
And you barely knew each other. Fuck that.
I've never been ghosted by a romantic partner, but I have been ghosted by a friend. And I was completely blindsided, confused, like hurt. Like that's the thing about it that hurts. It's not like, oh, this person obviously doesn't like me. It's the non-closure of it. I think that's what really fucked with me. To this day, I have not talked to that friend that ghosted me. And like, I don't care about her in any capacity. I do not think about her. But every once in a while, I live in a small town. Every once in a while, if she is brought up or I see her, whatever else, it brings up those feelings. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, like, wow. And just listen, if you don't have, and I'm talking about men, women, non-binary, whoever, if you don't have the balls to be like, hey, listen, I think you're great, but like, my heart's just not really in this. I don't think it's going to work out. And leave it. If you don't have the balls to send like a text, like I'm not even talking about a call or in person. Like if you can't even send a text letting someone know, you are a garbage person. Yeah. You're a piece of shit.
Not even the balls, it's like the respect. It's like it's a respect thing. Like, oh.
If that happens to you, I don't care if he ghosts you for a week and then pops back up and is like, hey baby, sorry, I was busy. That's a major red flag. Throw it away. Yep. You do not need that kind of person in your life.
Yes, I agree.
How to hit on a woman without knowing whether or not she's gay?
Well, I mean, you can go the subtle route and, you know, see what piques her interest, you know, if she likes, you know, softball. Like ultimate frisbee. What I don't know. What I can't think of. I'm trying to think of good like lesbian tropes and stereotypes. I don't know. I don't think it's any. It's at this point with how open all sexualities and whatnot are. I think it's really not that much different than like hitting on anybody. You know. I think you just kind of feel it out and. You know, try the softball thing. That's my guess.
So here's the thing. I'm a bisexual woman. I've been bisexual since I came out of the womb. I'm married to a cis straight man. There's no other demographic on the planet that I have had sex with more than a straight woman. Okay. Straight girls, whether it's just like, ooh, a fun night out or like they want to experiment, they want to have fun. If you find, listen, okay, here's my advice. I'm trying to put this in a way where I don't sound like a creepy pickup artist because that's not what I'm trying to say. If a girl
is down, she's going to be down no matter what.
She's going to be down. Okay. You don't have to worry so much about that especially anymore. And listen, I realize I'm privileged. I'm white. I'm conventionally attractive. I grew up wealthy. I've never come out. I've never had to come out to anyone. I've just been like, yeah, I like girls. And it was like, okay, you know, I understand how privileged I am in that regard. Here's how I deal with girls. If I'm out and I like am crushing on a girl or like interested in a girl or whatever else, let her make the first move. If she starts to get a little flirtatious with you, give her a little bit back and test the waters. If she kind of pulls back, you pull back. Okay. Always let her make the first move. Always let her be in control. If she's vibing on you, here's the thing about women. Okay. All you need, and I mean this, is confidence. If you are confident and you treat a woman like a quote unquote gentleman, like if you respect her and you don't pressure her, you listen when she talks, you look her in the eyes. If she's into you, she will let you know she has zero problem doing so, right? If she's, I'm trying to like explain myself, but I feel like I keep talking about nonsense.
I think you're good. I think you just keep interrupting your own self. I think you're on the right path.
Yeah, no. If a girl is interested in you, she'll let you know. She'll make it clear. But let her make that first move. And don't put any pressure on her. If she's flirting with you, flirt back. If she stops flirting with you, stop. If she's like, hey, do you want to like dance or get a drink or go somewhere and talk? That's a pretty good indication to me that she's interested. But yeah, I wouldn't like go up to girls in bars and be like, hey, are you gay?
Hey girl, are you gay? Do you want a scissor after this or what?
Can I interest you in a scissor sandwich, as Jenna would say?
The classic. The club sandwich. That is the scissor sandwich.
But yeah, like I feel like it's a lot different. If you're a man trying to flirt with a girl, and B, if you're a man trying to flirt with another man. Like if I was a gay man, I would feel much less comfortable flirting with a guy I wasn't sure was straight or gay.
Sure.
Than a woman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, like a woman's not going to beat your ass, because most of the time, and don't get me wrong, like there have been plenty of times where like I've struck out or I've read the room wrong and, you know, the girl hasn't been interested, but I've never had anyone get angry or offended. Always fun.
Yeah, or even like disgusted or any sort of like, yeah, I was going to say that earlier, where it's just like, I wouldn't anticipate any sort of reaction like being grossed out or weirded out or angry or upset. Like, I think, you know, you strike out, but I think you know, it is what it is. I think that's good advice. 100%. I think it's just because I think that's kind of universal advice too with flirting with anybody. It's just be confident, and you know, if you feel the vibe, go with it. And if the vibe is not there, do not continue to pursue it, because persistence is not the key. It's the only key is to Creepy Town.
I feel like people really hate when you say like be confident, because it's like, well, fuck, I'm not confident.
Nobody's confident. Like, you have to fake confidence. Yeah. Like, it's all fake confidence.
You gotta fake it. You gotta fake it. You just, again, like, I am nothing special. Like, I cannot.
I agree.
I'm really not.
I know. I agree.
Special. But I've never had a problem getting a girl to come home with me, you know, and it's 100% confidence. If you walk in there like you are the shit, and you also treat her like a princess, she's putty in your hands, like in your hand, like forget about it.
Spoken like a true pickup artist. By the way, Hitch, another great rom-com.
Oh my God. Derek loves Hitch.
I do too.
It's stupid.
It is stupid. Maybe it's like a bad good, because it is like, it's not objectively, it's not a great movie, but it's a nice soft one to watch, you know? I like Kevin James in it.
You know, I like Kevin James.
I do too. Yeah.
I enjoyed when he was teaching him how to dance.
Yeah.
I thought that was
He's precious in that movie.
Oh my God, he's so cute. What is your most embarrassing sexual experience? And don't say I can't say it because my mommy's
No, I think it was, first of all, I didn't say that. You said that. I think it was the herpes one. I think I already gave you mine. I think that was my most embarrassing.
But that was like after the fact, though.
Yeah.
If you're not up to speed, say Jack has herpes.
I do not. Not to shame anyone who does. It's very common, but no, I don't have herpes. God, embarrassing sexual stories. I wish I had one that stood out, except for the freaking herpes one. Except for my own herpes gate. Do you have one that stands out?
I do have one. I actually told it on the Lost Levels podcast.
Oh, God, buckle up, motherfuckers.
So me and my ex were at my parents' house, and we wanted to fool around, but I had stuff all over my bed because we were moving out he was helping me move out into an apartment. And he was like, let's just go in your parents' room, because they weren't home. And I was super paranoid about it. My parents were very like meticulous about their room. Like, even as like a 24-year-old, I wasn't allowed to like go and hang out in their room. But I wanted to be the cool girlfriend. So I was like, sure, yeah, I'm down. But I kind of qualified it by being like, okay, let's not have sex. How about I just blow you a little bit? And he was like, okay, deal. So he laid down on my parents' bed, and I got to work. And I don't know what
That's what he says. I got to work. I pulled out my briefcase, and I promptly blew him.
Okay. So I was blowing him. Wait, your mom listens to this podcast, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Okay. I got to work. I was blowing him, and things were getting a little aggressive because normally I don't have that much of a gag reflex. So, like, I was working real hard. We'll say that. And I don't know, just one wrong thrust. I got that tickle in my throat. I threw up all over his dick. I had it all the way down my throat at the time. So it was literally my mouth against his pelvic bone, suctioned there because I was so afraid of the vomit trailing out. So what I had to do was suck it all back up into my mouth, swallow it, which turned him on. So I finished the job, swallowed that, and got up because I was so scared to get anything on my parents' bed.
You know, that's the third time I've heard this story, and it never gets any less disgusting. And
it was gross.
My question is the same. Like, why didn't you fucking wash? Like, just get it. Just don't know. You could have just washed the fucking bed. I don't understand.
I did not have time. First of all, it was one of those like, my parents were bougie. This was like friggin' cashmere, and then they had like some fur throw at the bottom of the bed, and like there was something velvet was there. Like, it was stuff that had to be taken and specifically dry clean places. And I panicked. Literally, it was literally like I went all the way down. I felt it come up. I sucked it all back up. I swallowed it. He shot. I swallowed that, and then I got up and tried not to cry.
I try every time I hear it. I try not to cry. It's so
really gross.
Horrifying.
It was really fucking gross.
That's insane. Like, that's something that's like straight out of like an American Pie movie. That's fucking disgusting,
right?
And I love it. Good for you.
But if you're wondering how I can be so abusive to my husband and still get him to worship me, that's a pretty good indication right there.
Yeah, I guess so. Guess so. That's power.
Nayli gets the job done.
That's what it says on your business cards.
But it was absolutely traumatizing.
I bet. That's absolutely vile. Wow. Takes a sip of Diet Pepsi right into the mic after that.
Gotta get that. I gotta get that taste out of my mouth. It's like all coming back to me. I think I had like PF Chang's and just like, oh
God.
Semen's gross.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I've never understood the need to put semen places. Like, I
think we've much past TMI, but I always swallow, like, no matter what, just because, like,
it's cleaner.
Just I literally jam it right down my throat, and it just goes down. You don't have to taste it. Nothing. It's just gone. And then you don't have to worry about it. Because, like, I can never be that person where it's like, oh, I'm just going to come in your mouth and then I'll spit. Okay. So then I'm walking to the bathroom.
Right.
Like,
what an ordeal.
And you gotta, like, no.
Yeah. What an ordeal.
Absolutely not.
What an ordeal. No, thank you.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Or like those
porn. I don't want it on me.
Yeah, that's too, like, every now and then, like, if things are like, ooh, really spicy, and I'm like, oh, fucking, like, come here. And then he's like, yeah. And then we do it, and we're both like, oh, now what?
Yeah, then it's work.
And I'm just like, you're just standing there with like your boob shelf, trying not to let anything drip. Yeah. And he's like gone to get a towel, and he just looks sad.
Yeah.
I look sad. Like, it's just all
It is. There's something inherently very sad about that moment where it's just like, no.
It's clarity.
Yeah.
It's the clarity of the situation.
Well, it's like you can feel like the mood in the air get flaccid, It's just like, oh, okay.
You can feel the air get flaccid.
Everything's limp.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's perfect. Oh man. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those stories. We'll have to do like a dedicated, like, where people like, and anonymously like give us like their grossest or like worst sexual experiences, and we can like air them all out. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. We turn it into a confessions podcast.
Oh, it's funny. Your assumptions video where like people put in their whatever assumptions. Mm-hmm. Not only did you not read either of the two that I put in, that Naley one wasn't for me.
Wow. That's impressive. Somebody loves me. Yeah. But they can only share that anonymously.
True. I really like her, but I'm not ready to put that out.
I don't want that associated with my face just yet. How about like best worst like gifts for Valentine's Day?
Oh, okay.
Because like
you go first.
I like there's like the old standard. Like, see, I think flowers are always nice. I really like flowers. And I think that like I don't think you could, well, I guess you could overdo flowers, but I think that like it sends a nice message without having like a long-term obligation of like picking out jewelry for somebody, or I don't know, like, cause like there was like that thing for a while where people were like buying, like you buy your lady lingerie, and it's like, I don't want somebody picking out lingerie for me. That's weird.
Yeah.
Are you also going to do like a fucking glamour shot photo shoot? Like, what is this? What's the end game?
I need you to do a cheesy 80s inspired lingerie glamour shoot.
Okay.
And like rebrand around that. Oh, that's what we should have done for Valentine's Day. We should have done like cheapy boudoir shots with like the like Vaseline background.
What if I don't rebrand, but I just do that anyway and make that just part of my brand?
Just do it anyway.
Just Nike. Just do it.
I love flowers too. I think flowers are super overrated. I know people are like, oh, well, they die in a week. Well, yeah, but for that week, you get to look at them and smell them. It's like, I don't know. One of the sweetest things that Derek has ever got, and he's gotten me a lot of sweet things, but like when he showed up, because when we were talking before we met, I like mentioned, we were talking about flowers, mm-hmm. and he was like, what kind of flowers do you like? And I was like, I like orchids and blah, blah, blah. And then like a week later, he showed up with like the most perfect orchid. And like, that's still to this day, one of the sweetest things that I thought he did for me. He like really listened, and he went out, he found a perfect little orchid. And yeah, I love that shit.
That's nice. Yeah. Flowers are great. I think
also, fun fact, flowers like orchids and what are the like calla lilies last for a really long time.
Oh yeah, orchids last forever. We like I used to run a spa, and we keep orchids are often kept in spas because they do. They need very little maintenance or sunlight or whatever, and it's like they last for fucking ever.
They're so easy and they're gorgeous. Mm-hmm. So like if you're someone listening and you're like, oh, I want to, I don't have a ton of money to spend. Like an orchid is a great gift because all girls love orchids and they last fucking forever.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And they're like I said, they're very low maintenance, which is nice. And they come in like every color and then some. That was a fact that it's made up. This podcast is not sponsored by orchids of every color.
1-800-Flowers or something.
With an asterisk at the bottom. It just says orchids do not come in every color. Sorry for the false statements. God.
I don't know why that was so funny, but it was really funny.
Just me and Joe Rogan out here making the world the worst place. Oh my God.
Fuck Joe Rogan.
Agreed.
Oh, just so our podcast stance is clear, fuck Joe Rogan.
So you might find us on Spotify, but still fuck Joe Rogan.
Fuck Joe Rogan. I'm sorry, guys. We have to have our podcast on Spotify because we're fighting for our fucking lives right now. No one listens to us.
That's not true. A handful.
No, I'm just joking. For bad gifts, I would say, especially like for like a first or like a first Valentine's Day, lingerie, don't get lingerie for a first Valentine's
Unless you guys are both hilarious and you are going to do a glamour shot photo shoot.
Yeah.
In which case, send me a copy. I'm rebranding.
For me, like the first 2 Valentines Derek and I had together, he got me jewelry. I'm not a big jewelry person in general. I have like a pair of earrings that I wear every day and like a couple necklaces that I switch in and out if I want to wear a necklace. But like in general, I'm not a big jewelry person. So where I really appreciated the sentiment and what he was trying to do, I also like I felt like he felt that it was expected of him to get me a piece of jewelry or something. And I didn't want him to feel that way. And I felt it made me feel guilty.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, like he went out and bought me like this beautiful piece of jewelry that I'm not going to wear very much. And like I told him that, I was like, well, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, babe, you know, you didn't have to get me jewelry. I'm actually surprised I don't really wear a lot of jewelry.
Babe, I'm
like,
never going to wear this.
But he was just like, yeah, I know, but you know, I wanted to do something like special and nice and you can wear it on special occasions, which is great. But also it was just, I don't know. I feel like there's kind of this expectation on Valentine's Day to do something like grand like that. And it's so not needed.
Right.
I personally, if you do something sentimental for me, that's all I want.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend a cent as long as you like put some real effort into whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Agree with that. I think bad gift wise, I mean, I completely forgot mine. Oh, yeah, like giant stuffed animals.
Oh, God.
You know, like for your kids, great Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah.
For like your girlfriend, no, not at all.
We hate it.
Yeah.
We hate it. We'll put it on our bed and like pretend to show it off to our girlfriends, but the second they leave the house, we're throwing it in the closet.
Like honestly, like it might be good to take a nap on, possibly. But also, like, I'm 36 years old. Stop it. I don't live at Neverland Ranch. Knock it off.
Another bad gift. I would say a gift card.
Yeah, that's not very thoughtful. Because that's the thing. It's like Christmas, you don't have to be super thoughtful. Christmas is just like gift exchange. But like if you're celebrating like Valentine's Day or Sweetest Day or whatever the fuck, that's thoughtful gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, gift.
It's supposed to be about, love. Let me show you how much I love you. A gift card does not say love.
Yeah, you might as well take them somewhere and buy them something that they want rather than handing them a gift card.
Oh, that's a good idea though. I have had Valentine's Days where I was taken to the mall and like taken to Sephora. I love Sephora and was told like, hey, you got $100? Let's do some shopping. That was so much fun. Like that was a great gift.
That's great.
But to just hand someone a gift card and your Valentine's card, no,
that's
don't
not
do
thoughtful.
It. No.
I'm on the fence about chocolate. I like the mystery of one of them hearts with the chocolates in it, but I also don't really like chocolate at all. So it's whatever. I like the mystery of it, but I'm not a candy person. So I don't consider that a gift. I consider that a burden.
Do not get her a heart-shaped box of chocolates. Get her a heart-shaped pizza. Pizza Hut and I think Papa John's do heart-shaped pizzas.
Fuck Papa John's. Fuck Joe Rogan and fuck Papa John's.
All right, I was trying to give some advice to our male listener, but whatever.
Yeah, fuck him. Go to Pizza
Hut. Okay, go to Pizza Hut. But yeah, get her a heart-shaped pizza and put on a romantic movie that you know that she's in love with.
Or better yet, I'll do you one better. Make her a heart-shaped pizza.
Oh, that would be adorable.
Mhm.
I also saw someone make heart-shaped sushi at
Adorable.
home.
Love that.
Adorable.
Love that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be heart shaped. Make her a nice meal. Make him a nice meal. Make them a nice
Yeah.
meal. That's, oh my God, affection. Even I know some people have hangups about food, and I get it, but like, there's nothing that says like, I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I made you a nice meal. Let's have a nice meal together. That's lovely.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You don't need to go out to a fancy restaurant.
Right.
You can like pull out like whatever crap ass tablecloth you've got in your house, put a candle in the middle of the table, make them a beautiful meal,
Yep.
put some real effort into
Yep.
it, do the best you can. The most romantic thing ever. More romantic than any $300 restaurant could be.
Yeah. Because romance comes with the thought. Like, that's really where the thought
Yes.
actually does count. It's more
Yes.
more about the thought than the amount of money spent. But that doesn't mean you can make like a book of coupons for like one free,
God.
I don't know.
Back rub.
Yeah, I was trying to go for something more lewd, but like I lost my train of thought, and I'm glad I did, because I don't want to remember.
Also, don't make a coupon book.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cute idea in theory.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. It sounds super cute. You will use 2 of them. Never do it again.
Here's the thing.
It's a waste
Here's
of
my
time.
rule of thumb. Don't ever give someone you love romantically a gift that would be really adorable if like their kid gave it to them. Like, that's just that's pretty much a hard and fast rule. Like, just don't do it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't buy those stupid dice either. They're stupid, and you're going to end up licking eyeballs more than you do anything else.
Stay out of the back of the Spencer's gifts. Especially you, Sarah.
Oh, God.
Nothing back
That's where
there.
all the virgins hang
There's
out.
nothing back there for you.
I know that Sarah is in that back room of Spencer's just like giggling like a schoolgirl. Like, oh, virgin.
Get over it. Stop trying to find the Kama Sutra book at Barnes and Noble. Stop. Just go get some real world experience.
But yeah, like whether you're single or you're dating or you're married or you're just living life, like, do not take Valentine's Day too seriously. I know it's shitty this time of year if you're single and you see everyone else like being lovey-dovey and all those couples on Instagram, but it's a lie. It's all fucking bullshit.
And also, again, I've reiterated this a lot. Sleeping diagonally is great. There's nothing wrong with being single. It's nice to sleep diagonally. Nobody's telling you your things you already know. You don't have to wonder if you'll go to jail for killing them one day. It's all really nice to just have the place to yourself too,
I am madly in love with my husband, and I cannot tell you how fast I giraffe just headbutt him out of bed in the morning when he has to get ready for work so I can go diagonal.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Like, I do not care. I don't want him there. I want him to go.
Yeah.
God, I miss sleeping alone.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I support all couples who have separate beds or bedrooms. That's great. Good for you.
I saw this picture on Twitter the other day about these Amish beds where they have like it looks like a big king size bed, but then they have like, it's like another headboard in between kind of thing. So it sections the bed off.
Nice.
Want it.
That's great.
Need to have it.
That's great. And then if it was also one of those like Tempur-Pedics, where you guys could have different firmness on either side, that'd be great. Why aren't we funneling tons of money into this right now?
I don't know. I get beat up so frequently and while he's sleeping that like there have been times where I've had to like assure people that everything is okay at home. Like, he beats the shit out of me. And I just really wish he wasn't there. I just want him to go.
So happy Valentine's Day. Sometimes real love is just wishing that your partner wasn't there.
Yeah. Real love is being annoyed by your partner and accepting.
Yes. And still choosing them at the end of the day.
Whether you're single or in a relationship or not wanting either. Have the best fucking day. Put on your favorite rom-com and the next day go to Walmart and get all the discounted chocolate.
Yeah.
That's what the real need for Valentine's Day is. 70% off chocolate.
Absolutely. Rob them blind. And then get fucked.
And you know what? If no one loves you, we love you.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Yeah,
we'll hype you up. We'll tell you look pretty, okay?
Well, Nayli will. I don't like people.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I'll hype you up. Yeah, and just don't let this, because listen, at the end of the day, this is the stupidest, cheesiest holiday we have, hands down. Don't let it get in your head. You're awesome. You're gonna meet someone, and if you don't want to meet someone, you're gonna live your best single life, and that's all you need to worry about. Don't worry about what other people are doing, and don't worry about what society tells you should be doing on February 14th, because it's relevant.
Yeah. And your hair looks terrific.
It looks so good.